Okay, this is my video for my toolkit. This is a lighter which I'm just going to leave there so you can kind of see how big everything is. We've got a battery pack here which is also allow you to jump with crocodile clips, a dead battery. It will charge your devices and it's a torch. That's a 3-in-1 device. Most people will carry one of these to charge up their things anyway, but this will also be a torch and jump a dead battery. Good for solo riding. You don't need it if you're group riding though, but you're probably going to take something to charge up your devices anyway. So might as well make it do 3 things. A Leatherman. Screwdrivers and pliers are huge things to carry around. So get a multi-tool. They're your pliers. That's your screwdriver. You can change your bits there. And there's more to that screwdriver as well. It's got other things, but it's obviously a knife as well. Very good. It's a light Leatherman. It's the Skeletal one, this one. Skeletal CX. Motion Pro tire levers. I've tried many levers, but these are the lightest ones. And you can do a front wheel and a rear wheel. With the CRF, you need one of these to do the front wheel. It's a pain in the ass. That will convert it into 3/8. And I have learned how to change a D606 with 2 levers only. I change my own tyres and I only use these 2. I do have a bead buddy, but with the right technique, you don't need it. This is what I use to pump up my tyres. I have electrical ones as well. I've had electrical ones as well. The wires have gone, the motors have gone. They don't deal with wet too well. This will deal with, wet, rain, that kind of thing. And, if you just need to get up to 10 PSI to at the next service station, this will get you out of a pinch. And if you're doing dirt, you want to be running around 10 PSI anyway, providing you've got rim locks and a decent tyre like a D606 that can take it. Or unless you've got a preference for 10 PSI and you're all set to run low pressures. This is my toolkit, as you can see next to the lighter. Everything I've used in this bag, I've removed a tank, I've cut plastic frame guards from eBay, to make them fit better on the crf300. I've taken off wheels, handlebars, seat, changed batteries, removed the airbox. Everything I've used is in here. I can literally strip down a bike with this pretty much to a point that you'd be comfortable with on the trail. So these are the screwdriver bits for the Leatherman. So all the flatheads, all the Phillips, and even Allen key bits. When you buy the Leatherman kit, you also get American standard as well. I removed that. I'm only carrying metrics because that's all the bike needs. So I've halved the Leatherman bits as well. The good thing about the Leatherman bits is that they fit into these sockets here. What is this socket? This is a 1/4-inch socket, I think. And these bits will also fit into the Leatherman, but also fit into this, which then you could put onto a socket. Turn it into one of those. Turn this into a screwdriver. The Leatherman also comes with, when you buy the additional kit, when I find it, so this goes into the back of the Leatherman and it holds your bits, but it's also compatible with socket bits as well, like that, you see? So we can make screwdrivers out of what we've got here without taking out the Leatherman. That's pretty much it for the Leatherman, really. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. I've got a good adjustable spanner. Adjustable spanners are useful for many reasons. But I picked up each one in the hardware store and was looking for the lightest one. This is the one I found. It's got really sharp edges. It's got no play in the lip. and it's just a really good quality one, and I'm really thankful I found it. Really like to. It's BAHCO, Barco. Really good. Pick up all the tools that you're buying, and make sure that they're light, because you're the one who has to carry them. I've got a 12mm and 10mm spanner. Very common bolts on bikes. Have a spanner. Now, this socket, you're probably thinking that this socket set is doomed to fail. So the metal will start twisting on a socket set at 80 Newton meters torque. So if you find yourself doing bolts at 80 Newton meters of torque on the side of a trail, you've probably got bigger problems than not having the right tools. I went for a short extension, and I said to myself I'd buy a longer extension if I need one. I've never needed one to this day. And this is 1/4 of an inch, right? 1/4 of an inch, very small, does the job. Do not get the ratchet ones. The little gears in there will fail you over multiple use. Just get a normal one. The less to break, the better it's going to be for you, and the longer it will last. If this starts getting loose, $20, buy a new one. I've done 2 bikes with this and many adventures. With the socket set, I've looked at my bike. I looked at every single nut and bolt. There's pretty much 3 nut and bolts on the bike, apart from your odd sods. Most of the bolts are the same to strip the bike down. You've got a 10mm, you've got an 8mm, and you've got a 12mm. Literally, most of your bike, and most bikes, 8, 10, 12. Then you look at other bolts which you might need to access to in the emergency, and you end up with some extra weird ones. And that's it. Okay? So, customize your toolkit for things that you need. Don't bring everything. Get a good 8mm spanner. 8mm bolts can round off really easily, and if you have to do socket 8mm on one end and hold it on the other end because the bolt's twisting, make sure it's got a good grip. Again, ratchet ones, they got gears. The gears fail when you don't want them to. I've bought a long one because 8mm bolts can be in awkward places that you can't reach. I got a long one. This was the lightest one in my hand at the shop. And again, for these are the lightest ones in my hand at the shop. This is for my preload on my crf300 shock. Don't even need it. It's in there. I've got standard Allen keys in case I need to work on certain things. This says it's a 6mm. This one says it's a 4. And this is your standard 5. Every time you use them, just give them a quick look. If they look like the edges are going, throw them out, buy a new one, because they start rounding off your bolts. That's all the Allen keys I need to do most things on the bike. Again, look at the manual. This thing here is a crf300 special. It's for the front axle. So you put and this is 3/8 because the Motion Pro is 3/8. To get a 14mm bit, which is metric, for a 3/8 socket, it's not 1/2 inch, not 1/4 inch, it's 3/8. This is a hard find. I had to order this from somewhere special for it to be a small stubby one that fits in. Goes on, take the front axle off. This knife here, this is another socket, 13mm. It's for something on the WR that's uncommon. So this is the thing that I've cut my plastics with at times. Things that I've bought off eBay that needed cutting. I would get out the saw blade and cut that. This will obviously do branches and things of that nature. It's a backup knife in case you dull the blade on your Leathermans. It's got a small blade, which is good for cutting small wires in awkward places. It's got a can opener and bottle opener as well. Can opener in case, you know, your food options are limited and you're out in the bush and you bought a tin of sweet corn just to get by. Don't have to cook it. You can eat it straight out of the can. Can opener. One zip tie, reusable. Probably should bring more. You can zip ties to your forks or frame. They don't have to be in here. They weigh nothing. These are little wire clamps. If you've got a wire and it's cut, you can put one end in there, close the clamp, and then you've got a connection. Carry a couple of those. I've got a spare wheel weight. The other wheel weights are on the wheel itself. If I have to buy a new tyre and I want to balance it, I would just put the tyre on, pump it up, hold the axle up high and I'm looking for any obvious pendulums in the wheel. And then if I haven't got enough wheel weights, this is in there in conjunction with the other ones already on the wheel. I should be able to balance it. You're just looking for obvious pendulums and you want to eye them out in your hand. That should be good for up to 120, 130 kilometers an hour of highway riding. So 130 kilometers is around 70 miles per hour. So you don't get like wheel bounce. So yeah, hold the axle, look for pendulums, wheel weight it out. This uses an Allen bolt and just clamps on the spoke. Extra dust caps, extra dust cap lockers, a valve core remover, essential for changing tyres, getting the air out, spare valve cores, got a really small Allen key, which I don't know why. And that is the whole entire kit. And I service 2 bikes with this, go on adventures, and when I'm in the garage working on them, I just bring this with me and I can usually do what I need to do with this. And that's the end of my video. Please leave me any comments below on what you think I should change or what you think I should get rid of. The real con of this kit is that I thought I'd lost it when I was trying to make this video. It is that small. Thanks for watching.